Yeah, I'm in favor of the amendment. The other thing that I'm also was thinking about, and whether we do it this year, next year, or whatever, but Wayne has made a case before about allowing non-residents, especially with some baseball things, but I'm thinking that non-resident scholarships should be capped at 50%, that non-residents should pay 50%, because we've got 9 families with $9,000, that's $1,000 a family already this year. And so that's just food for thought. Anyway.
You don't feel like you've been taken advantage of, do you, Sue?
I sure do.
Boy.
Okay,
Sure do, and
further
so-
discussion on the proposed amendment. Okay, Tim, tell me if I get this right. You have moved to cap further expenditures on camps unless there are donations specific to that endeavor, and to have those remaining resources allocated to other activities besides camps. Is that accurate?
Yes,
And that's the seconders' understanding. Okay, we'll start the roll call vote with you.
Aye.
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 Okay, that motion carries. And further discussion on the original amendment or otherwise? I mean, the original motion, pardon me, or otherwise. Yes, Walter.
Tim, I expected you to raise the 18 to 20 to throw $2 more thousand dollars into
He
the
was
pool
going
business.
to, but he was discouraged.
Well,
That motion.
I'm sitting here throwing him a bone.
I move we add another $2,000 to the pool.
You know, you got
Wanna
a motion on the
amend.
floor. You can't do that now. You know
You
that.
can amend the motion to take it to 20
Make an
instead of
amendment.
18.
I can amend the original motion, not Tim's amendment, the original motion.
To
So
what?
I-
That's what she meant to say, and I'll second that.
For how much again?
Sue moved
There is no cap.
2,000 more.
Yeah.
To
Make it 20.
Huh?
Make it 20 instead of 18.
Yeah, make
Okay.
20 instead of 18.
And you said pool?
So that, yeah,
How much, Dwight, how much are pool passes?
How much do they cost?
Yeah, what's it cost a kid to go and get a pool pass?
An individual, I think, is
$80.
95, 80, something like that. If they have more than one, they always get a family pass.
And that's
That was
how
like
much.
It's
117 or something
Yeah.
like that.
I wouldn't mind adding to that part of my motion that with proof of eligibility, any of the 4 methods that Dwight said would work.
I'd second that amendment.
I'll third it.
Okay, now, originally we had Tom as the seconder, so let's try to keep this tidy. So Sue, you
Okay,
restate your motion.
Change the cap to 20, and then I was
Yeah,
good at
please.
seconding it.
Yeah, I was changing the cap to 20 and for the remainder to be used for pool-related, and that proof of eligibility be required for scholarships.
I didn't want to add the proof of eligibility until our conversation for 2014, so I didn't want
We're so darn close
So we had
to
Walter
nothing.
to.
then
I'd
as the
rather do that
seconder.
for the
So
2014.
you pulled your second?
So you've withdrawn.
I don't
Okay.
want to do the second for that, because I'd rather just see us do the 2014 thing.
I'm prepared to second it, but I need a clarification from Sue.
Yeah,
The additional 2,000 has to be for pool, not for other programs. We stopped
Well, it could-
camps.
yeah. Well, it could be for other programs.
Thank
It's
you.
just, yeah, okay, other programs.
Okay, I'll second that.
So, Mr. City Attorney,
Third it.
acting city attorneys. So this is a,
Sausage being made.
it's a sausage making, right. So it actually it's adding to the original motion. The original motion was for a cap at 18,000. This one would cap it at
I'm amending
20,000
the original
with
motion.
specifics. And so when we come back to the original motion, what has just happened as amended? That's it? It's not a parallel motion or secondary motion?
It would
Okay,
just
very
amend the
good.
cap up to 20,000.
Okay, so we have Sue's motion, we have Walter's second, is that
And-
correct?
Proof of need, proof of need.
Yes.
Yes. And
I'm just saying it would amend the motion in the term of
And
20,000.
with Sue's clarification, you're seconding that? Okay. Further now discussion. Tim?
Understand the motion.
Okay.
To include the proof of need part, or the amendment.
The issue that I'm having with proof of need is I don't think we've really done what we need to do to establish absolute guidelines on the proof of need thing. And I think that it would be better for us to be clear about what we're saying with proof of need to people and get that done for FY 2014. I don't think it's a good idea for us to do it the remainder of this year without putting more energy into, what exactly it is that we're asking for. Does it have to be, certain things that, I
I'm
don't.
not prepared to ask people for their tax forms. I'm really not going to make people beg for money. But
No, I
when
know,
they
but
use
I'm
their
just-
EBT cards or their SNAP cards or the Medicaid, which we're not talking about here, but when people, they use them all the time, and they appreciate the fact that if there's a choice between not having enough money left because people who can afford it are taking the scholarships, and people who have need, and I'm not saying degree of need, are you hungrier than a wombat on Thursday or Friday?
what I'm saying is-
I think if you have a SNAP, an EBT,
What I'm saying is I
Or
think we
the
need to
sport.
define proof of need before we.
I think the four methods he said qualify, period.
If I may, would you make that part of your amendment?
Pardon?
Would you
Yes,
make
I
that
did.
part of your amendment?
I did mention that.
Okay.
Have a free-for-all
And that was
here.
part of my
Proof of
second.
need with
I'm
the
gonna jump
four
in now then.
methods that,
Recognize Wayne for you.
Tom, I
Wayne.
want you to grab a hold of the counter there. Grab a hold of it. I agree with Tom.
really?
You're talking about changing the rules right in the middle, changing horses in the middle of the stream. And yes, we have to do something. By capping it like we have, we're doing something. I think that the ramifications of showing proof of need is something that does need to be done, but I think it needs to be done in 2014. I think it needs to be discussed more than just sitting here tonight and saying we can make that happen. There's no question we could, but I'm not sure we could do it correctly. So I will not back that amendment. I will back it to the 20,000, but I won't back it with show of need.
Dan, did I see your hand up? No. Yes, Tim?
Just a suggestion. I like the proof of need part of the amendment, and I think it would give Parks and Rec a great opportunity to put it into play and see how it goes for the rest of the year.
Madam Mayor,
Oh, I've lost before.
then I will call the question on this amendment.
Okay.
Second that.
All right, and so we're going to vote.
On the question.
He's wanting to vote. Is everybody ready to do that? Let's. This is on the question.
Voting on call the question.
On the question, Dan.
Aye.
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 Okay. So Sue's proposed amendment is to increase the dollar amount to $20,000 with the additional $2,000 portion from the city, not including additional donations, to be dedicated to pool-related.
No, any other programs other than camps.
Oh,
That's what we,
Yes.
that's what we.
Yes.
any other programs other than camps? Okay, okay. And to require any of the four elements of proof of need that Dwight mentioned this evening. Correct? Seconder is
Yes, ma'am.
agreeable to that? Okay. We'll start the roll call vote with you, Tim.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Aye.
No.
No.
So it's a tie. I get to break that tie. Let me explain my rationale. I do support the proof of need piece of it. The one aspect that is missing in this is that we're talking about those four elements of demonstrating proof of need. If you want to make another, I'm going to vote against this one, but if you make another motion that allows just a letter or some other means of demonstrating need, so that people who may not have those four elements could still
Just
have
one of the four.
Yeah, any one of the four, but who may not have that. There may be some eligibility that we haven't envisioned that's not contemplated by WIC or SNAP or, one of the other elements.
I'm thinking you could probably look at that for 2014. What I'm trying to do now is just stretch the amount of dollars we have for the rest of the year, as far as we can stretch them, for as many.
For the people that need it.
Yeah, that's, so,
Yeah.
I'm
I
not,
can prove it.
If there were that 1/5 piece, I would be supportive of this. I'll vote no, that motion fails.
I
But-
can't, I don't know, I can't see what that fifth piece would be. A letter
well-
from who?
Well, Tom's saying we need to define what need is, what eligibility is. And if we haven't, if those four pieces that Dwight mentioned are not all encompassing, and there may be some child who really deserves a chance to take swim lessons, but that family hasn't applied for or qualified for those four, any one of the four pieces, maybe there's some other means. If that eligibility is part of your motion, I would support that.
And I would support the motion if it were just 20,000 and we don't get into the proof of need thing, because my sense is the proof of need, I mean, there's a certain amount of stigma attached to food stamps or SNAP or any of those things that if someone feels like they won't do that,
They use them all the time.
people do, but not everybody. And my point is that if some people don't want to do that but would like to get their kids into swimming lessons, then I think it's worth allowing something to take place there. And I just think that we should not try to push it this year. I think let's have the discussion so that we can get it going for October 1st.
Right.
But I'm just trying to not do that for tomorrow morning.
Madam Mayor?
Yeah, and I was brought into this just as the tiebreaker, so I want to just
Yep.
add to the discussion just to say that there, early on in Dan's remarks, there was some expectation that perhaps some of the people who would benefit from this may not actually qualify from the monetary need perspective. And if that is, I don't know if it's a
I don't know
realistic
either. Yeah, but I
concern
feel
or
like it
not.
is.
But in order to find that out, I think if there is that concern, we're going to run out of money in a huge hurry when swim season gets here. As soon as this weather warms up again, that money, even $2,000, I think will disappear really fast. And so I do think an eligibility criterion is important, but I don't know that those four pieces are all-inclusive. Walter?
Call the question on the original motion.
Second.
Okay. So, Tim, we'll start that roll call vote with you. There's been a call for the questions. You want to debate further or vote on the
What is
original?
the original motion?
It's-
May I have the
it's
original
18.
motion read, please?
The 18.
I just wanted to say that
Yeah,
the
there's-
reason why I didn't want to change.
And we can't debate
No,
it.
cannot discuss.
So if the council wants to continue debate, it's going to need to vote against this, this motion. But Kelly, can you restate the original motion, please?
The original motion that Carskellen made was just to cap the city's contribution to 18,000.
Dan, is that you understand?
Along with adding the
Scholarship money on
scholarship,
top.
whatever donations to, over and above.
That it was
so we're voting on
$18,000,
the
not including donations that may
Right,
come
no,
on
donations
top of
go
that.
on top of that. And then it was, of course, amended, so
And it was amended
by 10.
to
Right.
restrict camps.
We do.
Cap
So,
camps.
so with that restatement of the original motion and the call for the question is what you're voting on at this moment. Dan?
We'll just read the call for the question.
This
Yeah,
is-
we're voting on the question,
Right, the question on the question.
and I'm saying yes.
Is that an aye?
Yeah.
Aye.
Aye.
No.
No.
Aye.
Okay, so we're back to the original motion then at a cap of $18,000
As amended.
as amended. Okay, we'll start the roll call vote with you, Tim.
Aye.
Wait a minute. Question. You just said the original motion as amended?
Right, with Tim's amendment.
Tim's amendment.
Tim is
Okay.
amendment.
Okay,
We're good.
Tim, we'll start the roll call vote with you.
Aye.
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 Okay, that motion